Oh boy, you know something's going down when something like this appears in your sub box. Hey guys, this is Gamer Carl, doing a status update video because I obviously know I haven't done very much in the way of normal videos in quite a while, and yeah, I want to apologise for that first and foremost. It hasn't been completely intentional, but there's a few realizations that have happened whilst I've sort of not been uploading main LP stuffs, and we'll get into those as I go, I suppose. I'm not really sure exactly how I particularly want to structure this as a video like update thing, because I'm mostly here to just play a game and talk. Like, that's what you guys watch me for, right? It's to watch me talk whilst, well, you don't watch me talk, but you listen to me talk whilst I play a game. That's generally how the idea of an LP is supposed to go. And, well, this is what I want to play at the moment. So, whoa, 10? That's a lot. And I wasn't really thinking quick enough. I'd have gotten the chain off there too, but that's a lot. I don't usually get 10s. Jeez. But yeah, I have come to a couple of realizations in the last couple of weeks or so, which is one obvious one is that I don't really like the whole constraint aspect that LPs generally give. I can fully appreciate those who do, if you like, and do just sort of religiously play the games that they're LPing at the time, but I'm not like that at the moment. I never have been like that, but it's sort of come to fruition a lot more recently, because now that I'm doing a PhD that's basically like a full-time job, when I do actually go in and not just, well, I do obviously do stuff here too, but yeah, basically when I go in, it's pretty well, that was terrible. It's a full-time job, and that does take up a lot of time, as you would expect. So I don't have as much time for gaming as I used to, which means that if I want to play a game, then I'm going to play it whether, no matter what I'm going to do otherwise. Like, as much as I love doing videos, not every game that I play is something which I'm LPing or would LP, because it's not always in the right sort of format. Reciteer is a huge example of that. And by the way, guys, play that game. It's freaking awesome. Seriously, you wouldn't expect basically a market simulator to be good, but Jesus Christ, it is good. Probably because it's originally Japanese, and therefore it's anything. Just about anything can be good if it's originally Japanese, right? But yeah, it's a pretty incredible game, so you should all play that. But yeah, stuff like that would be absolutely terrible for LPing, and that's something which I really wanted to play a lot of in the last few days. So, it's, do I do what I really want to do, or do I do an LP, which I don't necessarily want to do as much? Don't get me wrong, the games I'm LPing are also pretty damn good, but there's a couple of issues with where I'm at in the LP games, I suppose, which is causing concerns for me, let's just put it that way. Rayman's concern is that it's really not living up to its hype in difficulty terms, and most people will probably go what the hell at me for this, because, complaining about things being too easy, blah blah blah, first world problems, etc. The core of this issue is really with how the game has presented itself, as as a few people, Wildcard being one of them, noted in the second world, I believe it was, is that the game was starting to show fangs at World 2, and yet it hasn't really gotten any more difficult in the preceding worlds. as far as I'm aware, or as far as I'm in my playing sense, World 6 was easier than World 2. Which makes absolutely no sense. I realize you're revisiting old areas, but at the same time, revisiting old areas does not mean that the difficulty of the area is exactly the same as what it was before, or just about exactly the same. It isn't quite, but it pretty much is as good as the same, and that is not what I signed up for, if you like. And it's sort of... Wow, did I really just put that one down? I am dumb. Whatever. It's not what I expected, and well, whilst I know the difficulty is going to ramp up eventually, it isn't at the moment. That's the fact, and that basically means that I'm not as interested in it as I ought to be. Despite how amazing the game is in general, it's proving itself to be less than I wanted, I suppose. Which is always the worst thing when you go into a game blind and it's like, oh my god, this thing is awesome, and then it turns out to be sort of, being alright but not being stellar. It's always the worst situation, and really that's where I'm finding myself at the moment. This is one of the issues with blind LPs. Recording issues is the other one, and actually where I've stopped, I've kind of had that too, because I accidentally deleted the video at some point, so I kind of have to redo stuff that I've already done, and I never really had any problem with it first time, so I don't expect to have any problem with it now. But that's kind of another reason why I don't want to do it, is because I know it's not going to be hard. I know it's not going to be particularly interesting as a result. And, well, that's the fact. If it's not as interesting to play as some of the other stuff that I want to play, and I don't have enough time to do everything, then that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the other games, as anybody would. And it made me realize that I don't want to restrict myself to having to do games in an LP just because I'm LPing it. As much as people do like my stuff, and as much as I do want them to, you know, see new content, to, I guess, have the, I don't even know what I'm trying to say with this anymore, but to have that enjoyment factor of getting new videos in that they want to see. I don't want to restrict myself to having to do that, because then the quality of the video is doubtlessly going to go down, and that's not good for anyone. Especially not me, because I'm kind of sort of quality whore-ish, not really, but more in video quality terms, to be honest. That I like, if there's one thing that I pride myself on in quote-unquote professional terms, it's that my video quality and such like is outstanding. That is one thing I have always strived for, is to improve the general quality of my production. Even if I don't necessarily do a whole lot of actual editing work throughout the whole thing, because really, most of the time LP stuff just takes very basic editing. You don't... There's the occasional speed up is about the best that I generally need. I'm not going to go into the whole making a splash screen and... I can't even say it the way I said it now. I was going to make fun of how I said it because I had like the H sound there, but I can't even do that again now, so I can't even make fun of myself. What the hell is this world coming to? If I can't make fun of myself during a thing like this, then what the hell am I even fighting for? Nah, but seriously. It's... yeah, nobody likes to look at crap, and if there's one thing that I really do pride myself on, it's that my stuff does not look like crap, and hopefully never will look like crap. Like, the Sonic Generations testing thing was about as bad as it gets, and that's that. So, yeah. What was I going on about again, apart from that? I have no idea. This is what happens when you do this at about 20 to 1 at night, when you haven't exactly been having the world's best sleep nights in recent days. So there you go. So I think I've already beaten to death the thing about the non-interesting game, quote-unquote thing. That isn't something I need to go on about any further. The other LP I'm doing, the Minecraft stuff, that I know some people do like. You're kind of crazy for liking that, by the way, because it's mine, but you know. Yeah, that is at an impasse simply because of where I am at the moment. I've decided where the house is going to be, but the sheer fact is I have to build the house next. And I don't know about you, but house building has never been the most interesting of tasks for watching. I love building decent sized houses and whatnot, especially like building them, like that one on Retro Server, that was incredible. I love doing that stuff like that. But watching it, I'm not so sure. I mean, I know people love the creation aspect of Minecraft, but to watch an episode where the core content of said episode is building a house doesn't sound like the most appealing of things to me, and well, that's sort of a difficult one to solve, because that's what I have to do next. I've established where my house is going to be, so I have to make the house. But how do I make it so that the episode is not just going to be stupidly boring? That's something I think I would like some input on, actually, is that, because I'm not really familiar in this, not really familiar, I have no idea how, like, Minamar and stuff like that, you know, mods like that work. I have no clue. I have never used any sort of cinematic mod with Minecraft, and I don't think I could do that in a reasonable timescale to like make it actually good. So the whole like when Naka Talili did the Zeppelin mod thing, where he did the zoom out of that giant ass airship thing, I can't do stuff like that. I can flat out say that right now. I cannot do stuff like that. So there's that, and general time lapses and stuff like that. I have no idea how you would do them. Like, I've seen them and they're impressive, but how the hell would you actually do one yourself? I don't know, because I've never looked into it before. So stuff like that is kind of out the window for it, and really that doesn't help at all, because then you sort of go, well, it's just going to be a regular cut and paste video that is of house making. I could just cut a lot of it out, but then that sort of ruins the immersion a little bit, because you're not really getting to see how I've done anything. Which ain't good, yo. You know? So yeah, that's where I am with that. I could do with a little bit of feedback into that as to how... I mean, if people would even just want to see that a regular old house building thing, then I guess I could do that. Although, probably not with the screen that I've got, because I don't really play Minecraft. Well, maybe Minecraft would do better widescreen as well. That's something I should experiment with, because I haven't even touched Minecraft since the screen broke. Have I mentioned that my screen broke yet? I don't even know in this one. This is, unsurprisingly, actually a take two, because I sort of didn't get the audio balance right first time, because I'm actually using Blueberry for this. This is old school technology for me now. I use fraps for absolutely everything nowadays, which probably explains a lot of quirks in some of the videos, but I can't use fraps to record ZSNES because it just frankly doesn't register it. So I've gone back to what I used in my laptop days, and I'm now using Blueberry for this. Which is good, but my old days I used Blueberry and Audacity in tandem. And whilst that would still work just now, I kind of don't really want that hassle. With the brilliant thing about fraps is that it pretty well takes care of all of the audio recording aspect part for the microphone by itself, because you really don't have to care about setting up your microphone with it, because it sort of records that by itself. I was hoping to get an action chain off there. Didn't work. Too bad. So yeah, I'm actually using Blueberry to record both sides now, because my laptop's not powerful enough to do that, but my desktop really is, of course. My desktop can do pretty much anything I ask it to, within reason. I mean, any time that it lags on stuff, it never lags because it's running out of processing power or anything. It's never using more than 25% of it, pretty much all the time. So yeah. It's not as if that's ever an issue for me, but wow, really? Ah, I was hoping to keep that going there, but too bad. So yeah, really, anytime I have an issue with recording stuff on this, it's because if I mess up. Like when I first started using fraps for recording stuff, that was a bit of a mess up because I didn't realise you should really put it on another hard drive. Photos, if you ever see this or ever get linked to this or anything, just make sure that you're doing that. I don't know if you are, because I don't actually watch your stuff very much, I'll fully admit, but I did see that one thing where even though you've got a new rig, you're sort of struggling with fraps still, without lowering quality stuff, so maybe that's the cause. It was the cause when I did stuff with fraps, so who knows. But anyway, yes. That was a random ramble about stuff, but to be completely honest, this whole video is a random ramble about stuff, so if you're expecting me to be cohesive during this, then I feel sorry for you, I really do. No, really, if you're expecting me to be cohesive during an episode of nothing, then yeah, something's wrong with you, not me. Yeah. But I just don't know, maybe. I do obviously still want to do the LP stuff. Do not treat this as a, oh my god, he's quitting LPs, unsub, etc. And I know you guys wouldn't do that anyway, because you're far too awesome to do that. Seriously, even the whole point of I haven't been doing my regular video stuffs for quite a while, and I've still been getting new subs pretty regularly, and that's pretty damn cool. You guys are awesome, really. I can't stress that enough, just how great it is doing stuff that people actually enjoy. This isn't, if you like, a profession that I ever expected I would do any good in. I only started doing LPs because Gaia, or was it? No, it wasn't Gaia, because Gaia's from VE. No, it was some Gale Blade, I guess, is what it used to be called as or something. But yeah, Gale thought it would be entertaining for somebody with my accent to start doing LP videos, and I will fully admit I didn't expect mine to be any good, but the more I got into it, the better it became, and well, I don't want to lose that, and I won't lose that because I know I'm still going to do them. But it's a question of interests versus time. And right now, interests are winning out, because I'm not interested in playing the games that I've started LPing as much as I am other titles, and so the time constraint which comes with that sort of dictates otherwise. Pretty much says that I'm doing those other games, even if I should, in theory, be doing the LP stuffs. So that kind of sums up this entire video. If you've somehow skipped to this point in the video, then I salute you, because you have now gained the entire wisdom of the video in the last sentence. So yay, that's a thing. Maybe I need to start something new. Maybe with the quote-unquote issue being as it is, maybe I just need to start up a new project. But even then, I don't actually know what I would want to start right now, because really most of the games that I would love to play at this point would be kind of substantial projects in their own right. And I don't know if it's wise for somebody in my position to start an entirely new project, you know? Because if I'm not even updating the ones which I am doing at the moment, is it honestly a wise idea to start doing something new? It could be. Because if I do, then at least there's this incentive to do stuff. If I'm keen for the project, and it would be something that isn't blind. I have a few games in mind that I do want to LP, and you know, was always going to at some point, and some people have asked for as well. Actually, there's the sequel to the trading card game on the Game Boy Color. Some people have actually asked me to do that. And, well, I have actually got a full English translation of the thing. Or at least from what I played so far, it's a full English translation. I streamed it for a while before. By a while, I think I mean about 6.5 hours or something. That was quite a long stream. But, yeah, I have done that, and as far as I've seen, the entire thing is in English, and I have no reason to believe that it's not going to be in all English from here on out, so that's an option. And I would love to do that. Although, the problem with that is that there would be some grinding for cards involved as well, and I don't know if I would really want to do a project like that. Simply because there would be the whole grinding in the middle of it, and right now, well, I do like the game enough, and I would play it definitely, but is it the best idea to do a grinding sort of thing when I'm in the middle of other projects which I'm kind of not doing for similar reasons? Not really. As much as I would like to do it, not really. So that, well, unless people convince me otherwise, that one is probably a no-go for just now. Later, but not now. I could do a Mario hack, because people always love Mario hacks, right? But I'm not very in the loop when it comes to decent hacks, and it's been a long time since I actually played a proper hack blind. I mean, blind is the way to go, I think, with Mario stuff, because it's nice to know what you're doing with the stuff, and I mean, things like the Mario Bros. 3, that's really good without being blind, but at the same time, when it comes to doing ROM hacks and stuff, most of the magic does tend to be lost if it isn't blind, I think. Because, well, looking back at my TSRPR stuff, and even looking at the co-op with Kib, though, that was hit and miss when it was not blind, actually, but I mean, the game itself was amazing, so really that one sort of pulled its own way. They didn't really need us to do anything, but it still kind of was that. It was better when it was... No, I would say it was better when it was blind. Even that one. There's nuances with it, and, well, there's always the thing of what if the stuff isn't coded very well. Like the wall jump tiles that we had, that they weren't exactly very good, I will fully admit. But, well, how did that count as a chain? That was way too late. But yeah, the whole thing with the Mario hacks is I don't really know good ones. And there was a couple I was gonna play, but that was going to be in sort of my own time, and I was never even considering LP and the stuff, because I don't think I do best at Mario hacks and LPs. I can do pretty well. Obviously not Raukau well, but Raukau is more experienced, so that kind of helps. But I would like to say I'm good at the hacks in general. But I don't know. It's not really something which I do that often, and I don't honestly know if I could do it well enough to satisfy people that watch Raukau do them, I suppose. That almost feels like a really terrible excuse in its own right, but at the same time, when Raukau subbed to me originally and stuff, a lot of people came over from him, you know, commenting on the videos and stuff with the Star Road thing. People do still comment on that, actually, it's pretty great, but yeah, a lot of people came from that, and I can't help but thinking, in its own little way, and I'm sure most of you wouldn't do it for the sake of doing it that way, but I can't help but think that they would inevitably get compared against what Raukau does. And I don't know if I would want that as an auxiliary project, if for no other reason than because I don't want to get judged against another person for that. But at the same time, this is sort of quote-unquote comedy business, etc., and I realise that in this sort of environment, you are inevitably going to be judged against other people, so it's more the question that I don't actually know a good hack that I would want to play, but there is that niggling thing about comparisons that I just, yeah. But I totally could play something if I worked out what to play. I know it would not be something, because I don't want to play one that has been LP somewhat recently, or I was streaming as well, because I would like to actually go back to long streaming that at some point. There's a lot of things I would like to do. I would like to go back to the worm stuff as well, if I could, but also, Kyle, you want to know the length of chains I can get? That's the length of chains I can get, times 9 in the face. Hell yeah. I think I have gone to 10 before, but that generally is as high as I get, it's a 9 chain. But freaking 9 chain, man, that's awesome. Down there, to there. Let's concentrate on the game for a second whilst I do stuff. I was too slow. I needed to be very slightly quicker with that, but still, times 9 and then times 7, that's fairly impressive. But yeah, I want to do worm stuff as well. I think I was saying that before I got interrupted by the chains. I really want to go ahead and do worms videos again, because I love doing that, and the worm stuff is great, because really it doesn't matter in the end so much as having fun in that, which is always good. I fucked that up royally, so there we go, game set, because I fucked it up. Speed 50 without really trying at all, without doing any defensive strategies and whatnot. That's actually really good. But yeah, I want to go back to that. I'm actually considering putting music on them. You know, like, I've got so many Toho songs and whatnot. I'm actually considering that. I've been having difficulties before doing even 1280 by 960. I've been having troubles even playing the game without lag when I have music on from the Windows Media Player. I don't know why, but I've been having issues with that. However, when I've been having music on in the last few times I've played on my desktop instead of on my TV instead of my now broken monitor thing, it's actually not lagged at all. And that's getting me thinking, and I'm gonna have to do some tests with this, but if it works, I would like to have my Toho playlist playing through Worms videos if we do them again. We've all got to get the time to do it again though. The problem with doing Worms is that with 4 players, even with 4 players, I don't know how Pink and them do it with 6 to 10 that play, but even with 4 players of the thing, it's difficult to organise times for it. And really, most of the time, if I want to play Worms, then I'll just play it. Like, I'll say, hey, want to play a game? And I might get 1 or 2 responses out of my group, if I'm lucky. Just because we're all haven't really had the time for it lately. And Kyle had a lot of connection issues with me too, but that's besides the point. It's tricky. I do think, however, when I go back to the Worms videos, I will be recording with my TV instead of the desktop, though, like the desktop DVI monitor thing, the square one that I usually used, because I actually think the game looks better in widescreen. Now that I've actually done a comparison between the two, I think it looks better, and it would definitely play better too, because then I'd actually get to have a wider view, and most of the maps are smallish and horizontal, so yeah, I would do much better with that. So there's that. I think it would fit YouTube's player better too, because I always hated the black border stuff that YouTube has around its video stuff when it's in 4x3 or things like that. Why can't they just shrink the physical player down to 4x3 size? Would that really be too difficult for them? I mean, I don't really know anything about coding and internet types, and I especially don't know about coding Flash players and stuff, but I don't think it would be that difficult to not have to have a set aspect ratio and to letterbox anything which isn't that aspect ratio. I don't actually see why it would be impossible to set it up so that the aspect ratio of the player is the same as the video. I don't see the issue, but that's maybe just my humble opinion. I don't know. See, yeah, just kind of talking over the credits thing here, because really, this is an update video thing, and I don't even know if I've said everything that I wanted to, but I guess we're at the point where I should sum stuff up now. So, first and foremost, most important, bar none, is the obvious apology for not doing the videos as you would expect for quite a while. I'm not sure it's gonna get better in the immediate future, because I don't want to play Rayman at the moment. I don't really know how I'm gonna do Minecraft stuff at the moment, and until I can get my monitor fixed, which is gonna take over a fair bit of time, I don't know how long, but I can't get in touch with the not the owner, but the one who sold me the thing, the one who made my desktop, basically. I can't get in touch with them at the moment because my grandparents can't, and I don't actually have their number direct and stuff, so yeah. And I can't just go out and buy a new screen because I don't have space. I have the money, but I don't have space, and I don't want a new screen anyway. I just want to get this one, fixed as such, because there's nothing wrong with it. Except for the fact that it's broken, but there's nothing wrong with the monitor type and stuff. I don't want to have to bother with a new one. So yeah, until I get that sorted, there's no video stuff. There's probably not going to be any streams until I get that sorted either, because I do not want to only have one screen for that. So sad to say, but there's probably not going to be streams for that sort of time either. I am considering starting a new project. I could do a snares game thing very, very easily, because as you can see, this records perfectly fine, and I don't need to have full screen stuff for that, but I'm not sure what I would want to play from the snares at the moment, or yeah, how it would even work, to be honest. But I am considering starting up a new project thing, and if anybody's got any sort of suggestions on that, then yeah, there's a lot that you can comment on this video, but really just something, I guess. Pick a topic out of what's been said, and if you want to comment on that, then do so. Of course, I can't force anyone to comment, nor would I want to, but I guess it concerns the state of the channel as a whole and the state of what you guys have come for. And I think one of the biggest pros of doing video stuffs like this, especially when I've not got anything to upload otherwise, one of the biggest pros really is that you can get feedback on the stuff, so you can know what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, what people would like to see, what people don't want to see, which is probably more the long streams of Pokemon Black, but too bad because that's getting done anyway. And yeah, it's a good thing because this is a community. Okay, calling my little paraded people like subscribers a community is maybe a bit exaggerating, but at the same time, there's enough of you that watch the stuff and are fairly dedicated to commenting on the stuff that there is a bit of a community here. And, well, I want to reach out to that, and I want to know what the community wants from my stuff for a while, so that I can maybe direct myself a bit more. Because right now I just don't think I've got any sort of feeling for this. So that's that. Super slow down go! Pressing the Z button for some reason does that. Wow, that's ridiculous. So yeah, until the next time of something, I suppose. Tell me what you want, and I will see about doing it, I guess.